All right, Pam Bondi was Florida's Attorney General. Same job as Letitia James, except she actually did it well. Pam, good to have you back on tonight. 175 million is still beyond excessive in a case we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, of course it is. And this case should have never been brought. It had never been brought in the state of New York, nothing like this. But at least the appellate court reduced it from what that horrible judge wanted in the case. So thank goodness it got reduced, but it should have never happened at all to begin with. And I am convinced on appeal, Rob, that this case will be reversed. Convinced.
On appeal, if there's a conviction, it would be reversed. I would only hope so. This is such a ridiculous case. What I wanted to ask you, you know this game so well. I mean, I personally feel like somebody like Letitia James and even this judge should face disbarment for the behavior that we've seen in this case, because it is so flatly ridiculous. I doubt that happens in New York because of just how politically charged everything is. But wouldn't you think that, I mean, haven't they done enough, in your opinion, to lose their license to practice law? I mean, this is an outrage.
Yeah, and this judge, to go to the judge first, he's been reversed 5 times in the Trump case by the appellate court. And, he's subject to the Judicial Qualifying Commission. So they could go after him. And of course, the bar could go after Letitia James. But, I think New Yorkers are sick and tired of it. And I think they may have gone too far this time because people are seeing it. Businesses are seeing it. So many corporations are saying now, look, if they can do this to Donald Trump, they can do this to me. It was unprecedented what they did. She campaigned on going after him. And as a former AG, when you have a conflict, you get off the case, even if it's a perception of a conflict. Here, she has an actual conflict because she has admitted she is out to get Donald Trump. Yeah. And that was the focus of her job. Crime is rampant in New York, yet she was sitting in a civil trial smiling the entire time, wasting her time when people are getting robbed on subways. She could be out there helping kids who are addicted to drugs, fighting human trafficking, going after basic crime in New York, yet she was going after him. So, there may be a different climate now after all this in New York because it's certainly backfiring on them, in my opinion.
It certainly is. She's awful. She knows she's awful.
Horrible.
And this case is trash, and she knows that.
Horrible.
The fact that we could see former President Trump in a courtroom in the midst of this election, which is what we're going to see here in just a couple weeks, it seems. He's already the nominee, and he's going to have to sit there and be scrutinized over an alleged payment to a porn star from 20 years ago. I mean, if it wasn't bad enough, if people aren't already awakened to this is the guy that right now is clearly the leading candidate, doing far better than the incumbent president of the United States. And he's going to have to sit through this in addition to this ridiculous case where there is no victim at all.
Yeah, and Rob, remember, this thing's been around for years. It's a joke. The Elections Commission refused to look at it. They declined it. The Southern District of New York, they declined to prosecute it, to look at it. Yet now they've revived it all of a sudden that he is the leading candidate. If he wasn't running for office, none of this would be happening. We all know this. But, a prosecutor, it's not the prosecutor's right to rush something to trial. The defendant has the right to speedy trial. They dumped tens of thousands of documents on President Trump, and all his defense team was asking for was a continuance. Number one, so they can review all these documents, and number two, because otherwise it is election interference. He can't be out campaigning. He has to be sitting in that courtroom every single day, months before the presidential election. So hopefully this will get appealed. I know they're going to appeal it. And hopefully this case will get continued until after the election. And ultimately, this will also get dismissed.
The irony is that honestly, him sitting in that courtroom might be more powerful to voters than making campaign speeches. Politicians, they make the same campaign speech over and over and over again. This could probably be more impactful. And you envision an inauguration speech where he thanks Jack Smith, Arthur Engoron, and Letitia James, and all the people that did so much to help him get elected to the presidency, because that's exactly what these people are doing. And it's amazing that they're too stupid to see it at this point. I can understand that they were too stupid to see it 6 months ago, but the fact that they're still pushing through with this, unbelievable. Pam Bondi, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Rob.
Good to see you.